You think your company only runs one operation? Well, think again. Behind every sleek, modern office, there's another factory lurking in the shadows. The hidden factory. And in this place, employees don't actually create products. Nope. They specialize in things like rework, fixing errors, and cleaning up messes. Get this, some stats show that 30 to 50% of an entire organization's resources are just drained away by this hidden factory. It's the one you don't see, but it's creating all the waste.
So let me ask you this. Does your day feel like a constant firefight? You're handling urgent returns, you're fixing typos in reports for the third time, you're explaining why the data doesn't match up again? Well, if that sounds familiar, congratulations, you've basically been promoted. You're a senior executive in the hidden factory, and the only thing coming off your assembly line is frustration. So what is this shadow operation that's just sucking up all of our time and energy? Look, if we're going to shut it down for good, we have to know what we're up against. We've got to identify the enemy. So let's put a formal name to this problem that, let's be honest, plagues just about every workplace out there.
Okay, and this right here is the absolute core of it. The hidden factory runs on something called non-value-added activities. And it's pretty simple when you think about it. A customer pays you to, say, print a document correctly. They are absolutely not willing to pay you for the time it takes you to fix your own typos. That correction, that's a non-value-added activity. It's pure waste.
You know, what's really important here is the mindset this quote is talking about. Question everything. All those processes we just take for granted, right? The steps we just assume are necessary. That's usually where the biggest waste is hiding in plain sight. To really fight this, you have to become almost obsessed with asking, why? All right, time to grab your hard hats because we are about to take a little tour. We're going to walk through the different departments of this hidden factory. And trust me, each one has its own special and uniquely frustrating kind of waste. In the world of lean, these 7 categories are known as muda. It's a Japanese term that basically means uselessness or futility. I mean, how perfect is that? These are all the things that eat up our resources without creating any real value. For our little tour, we're going to focus on the 3 departments you probably, and unfortunately, spend the most time in.
Okay, so our first stop is easily the busiest department in the whole place. Correction. This is the rework assembly line. It's where tasks get done a second, a third, maybe even a 4th time because, well, they weren't done right the first time. I'm sure that sounds familiar to a lot of you.
And this is why rework is so damaging. It's not just about spending double the time. The cost of fixing just one mistake is often way higher than the cost of producing 3 things correctly from the get-go. We're talking wasted materials, sure, but also the drained energy and morale of your team. And maybe worst of all, every time a defect gets to a customer, you're chipping away at their trust.
All right, next up on our tour, welcome to the department of overprocessing. Oh yeah, this is where people burn hours and hours creating these super detailed reports that, you guessed it, nobody ever reads. Or maybe it's using some crazy complex software for a really simple task. It all looks like productive work, but it adds 0 value to the customer.
And for our last stop today, let's talk about conveyance, or as I like to call it, unnecessary transport. Just think about that 20-email-long chain to confirm one tiny detail. The information gets passed up the chain, then back down, creating all these opportunities for mistakes and miscommunication. It's like a traffic jam for data that just brings everything to a grinding halt.
So now that we've seen how this factory runs, let's get real about the damage it does to the bottom line. And fair warning, the numbers can be pretty shocking.
Just look at that number. Seriously. According to the quality expert Phil Crosby, what he calls the price of non-conformance, which is just a fancy way of saying the cost of doing things wrong, can be 25 to 40% of a service company's entire budget. Almost half the budget just gone, eaten up by the hidden factory.
But it's not just about the money, not by a long shot. The numbers on a balance sheet are really just the tip of the iceberg. It's the hidden costs, the stuff below the surface, that can really sink the ship. I mean, when your best people are stuck just redoing work, morale just tanks. When customers get defective products, their loyalty disappears. The hidden factory doesn't just waste money, it poisons a company's culture and kills its future potential.
Okay, so that was a lot of bad news. But here's the good news. There is a way out. There's a blueprint for escape. We actually can shut down the hidden factory for good. It just starts with a totally different way of thinking about work and about quality. This really breaks down the two mindsets perfectly. The hidden factory is all reactive, right? It's about fight or fighting, getting really good at rework, and relying on inspection to catch mistakes. But here's the thing. Inspection doesn't create quality. It's just like hiring a security guard to tell you that you've already been robbed. The lean method, on the other hand, flips the script. It's all proactive. It's about preventing problems, building quality into the process itself, and getting it right the first time.
And here's a really cool practical tool for this. Poka-yoke. It's a Japanese term for mistake proofing. The whole idea is to design a process so that it's actually difficult or even impossible to mess up. You see this all the time in the real world, like how a USB cable only fits in one way. In an office setting, think about a form on a website that won't let you click submit until all the required fields are filled out. That's a digital poka-yoke, and it prevents the error from ever happening.
So if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's this. We spend so much time and energy celebrating our best firefighters. You know, the people who are just amazing at solving urgent problems. But a true expert, a true master, isn't judged by how fast they can put out a fire. They're judged by their ability to shut down the hidden factory for good. The goal is to create a system where fires just don't start in the first place. And that really brings us to our final question to chew on. For years, we've been taught to just add more checkpoints, double-check our work, and put all our faith in the quality department. But if simply looking for defects doesn't actually make things better, then what does? Because if you only start worrying when you smell smoke, you've already lost the game. We'll dig into that very question in our next explainer.